When we looked at slope, we looked at it based on a graph. And we looked at it from the change in our rise divided by our change in our run. And then I kind of pointed out that if we looked at the distance between the two places and we put that distance in for a change in y and change of x, we still end up with the same slope as if we counted. So we're going to take that a step further and we're going to look at the same graph, but this time we're going to just look at the points. We have some value xy and some value xy here. So we have the coordinates, let's say, I'm just going to make them up. Let's just say that this one here is 4, comma 3, and I'm going to color code them so you can see which is the x and the y. Okay, so that's one point, and here we have another point, and we're going to say that this one here, that's going to be -2, and we'll make y -1. Okay, so if you're not given a graph, you don't want to spend the time having to graph all that out. You're going to want to just be able to do it mathematically. So let's see what happens. I'm going to try to make this just a little bit closer. Oh, I think that's too close. So we'll just have to keep it like this. Okay, so we have 2 points. We need 2 points in order to find the slope. So what do we have? We have an x1 and a y1. That's one of our points. And we have an x2. It's kind of slipped on the paper. That looks funny, so I'm going to make sure that looks like a 1. And a y2. Okay? So those are our points. So when we're talking about slope, slope is the change in y divided by the change in x. So our change in y, we're going to write y sub 2 minus y sub 1, and our change in x is x sub 2 minus x sub 1. So we're going to substitute in our points. So notice when I'm given points, here I have an x1 or x2, y2 underneath, and here I have an x1, y1 up above. It's a good habit when you're given points to go ahead and label them like that, so that will help you not get confused here. Okay? So my y2, let's deal with that first. My y2 is right here. That's a 3. And we're going to minus a y1. Well, y1 is negative. Okay? And then I'm going to put in my x2. Well, x2 was -2. Excuse me, x2 was 4. And then my x1 is -2. So that's going to be minus 2. So this should look kind of similar to what we did earlier. See, our y is 3 minus -1. Isn't that what we have here? And my x is 4 minus -2. That's what we have here. So it's kind of all coming together. Just a different way of doing the same thing. Okay? So then when I simplify this, I'm going to get m is equal to, well, that's 3 plus 1, which is 4, divided by 4 plus 2, which is 6. And then if I go to simplify it, I'm going to get m is 2/3. Okay, so then that's my slope. Okay, so this is how we do it if we don't have a graph, or if our points are not in a nice place on the graph. We can do it mathematically with the slope formula.